out the best way to bring you guys quality content.
You know, the usual vanilla chai latte, oat milk. I don't know what the heck she tried. I got the grande pumpkin cream cold brew, no vanilla syrup, but add brown sugar syrup, extra pumpkin cream foam in a venti cup. Did I mention it's iced? The sandwich that I'm having is the vegetarian impossible one. I feel so much better. About like loose, I feel good. Good. Oh god. You understand? Like I miss my channel, and it's like constant, just ability to touch people just through living.
Why was I shocked?
Right, why are you shocked?
Listen, I feel like I moved to the city for a few days because my good friend Isis came to town. You know, she's always all around the world. You just came from where? Well, Mexico technically. Yeah, but all around the world. Yeah, all around. But anyway, we've just been hanging out, and so we're waiting for our brunch reservation now. We were talking about like cameras and technicalities and like all that stuff, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to upgrade my camera or not. But my camera has been an OG camera for years, honey. This is the camera that I vlog in is the, what is it, the 5100, y'all, and it's still like good. Like people ask me every time, girl, what camera do you use? And I'm like, it's still the same one. So until I actually upgrade it, I think I'm gonna just keep it. Just keep it.
Why not? I'd be shocked to see myself.
I moved to New York. So I got the hole-in-the-wall waffles. Isis got the pulled pork something or whatever. We're about to eat, honey. Oh my god, y'all, so there's a song that I'm obsessed with right now. It's called Not Just Stories, and it's by I think her name is Marianne George. Yeah, it's called Not Just Stories, and it's featuring Aaron Moses from Maverick City. Anyway, I saw it pop up on here and I'm like, oh my god, such a good song. Yeah, so I was just sitting here and updating a few things, and like after this weekend I was just kind of like in New York, chilling, hanging out. My friend Isis came into town, and it's just crazy the power of like social media, meeting people and building friendships and stuff like that, and just getting to know people outside of their profile, right? So I want to talk about, like, really quickly about something that I'm really learning that's very valuable in my life right now, and I actually shared in my community. And so it's essentially like this notion of working from a place of ease and peace, and not from a place of like anxiety driven thoughts and overwhelm and scarcity mentality or poverty mentality, especially as like a full-time entrepreneur, like in real life. There have been moments where I just be wanting to throw in the towel, if I could be real. There have been moments where I just want to walk away from everything and go ahead and get me, you know, just something else, which is not a bad thing, but it's not like that easy to walk away from, because it's not just business, it is ministry that I identify with, that I do, right? And so for me, it's just been such a learning curve. Like this year specifically, you know, in the middle of a pandemic, what in the world? You know, in the middle of a pandemic, like I started a whole new brand. And then this year, another leg of that particular brand. And, you know, God has really graced me. But one of the things that I started to default into was just this notion of like striving. You know what I mean? Like striving in an unhealthy way. Like, yeah, we could strive to be a certain way. We can strive, blah, blah, blah. But it's unhealthy when it leads to overwhelm and anxiety and overload and burnout and restlessness. Like I was like not sleeping because my thoughts. And here's the thing, like I love what I do. I really do. And you know what I get to do is create content for y'all and coach influencers on how to do what I do with faith and content and working with brands and all that stuff is great. But I would have all of these things that are in my brain, like that would literally fill my brain as a result of opening yourself up to the world in these ways, because imposter syndrome will try to get you, doubt, lack of confidence, insecurity. Can I say imposter syndrome again? So yeah, I changed my seating because the light was not giving light. But this pandemic really just like did a number on creatives and entrepreneurs. We just feel this like urgency to show up, this urgency to create, this urgency. And it's not even like, there's a difference. There's this healthy urgency, right? That it's like, oh no, I gotta do the things of the Lord because there's an urgency, there's a time release, like there's something that is happening that's very special right now, that it's like the grace is on it right now. But then there are moments where it's just unhealthy urgency, and it's just like, sis, you ain't even sleeping, like you're not even, you know, bro, you're not even trusting in the Lord, like after you've done all that you can do, you have to reach a moment where it's like, I'm just gonna have to trust you, Lord, because these things are out of my hands. And so that's like what I'm saying. Like I'm learning each and like every time I start a new week or a new month or a new quarter, I'm reminded of that. Okay, how are we approaching this month or this week as it relates to your work ethic, right? Are you operating from a place of ease and peace? Or are you operating from a place of overdrive and anxious thoughts and lack? Like, what is it going to be? We can't be children of God and then have these thoughts. Now, don't get me wrong. Although I have been able to lower the dial or the volume on those thoughts, they're not completely muted. Like, it's just day by day, week by week, month by month. You just have to rewire what naturally happens as a result of being just overly exposed to all this information that we're exposed to. For those of you who don't know, I'm writing a book right now, and I've not met not one of my deadlines that I created for myself back in July. Not one of my deadlines have I met. And I'm like in a place where it's not even my work ethic, it's actually my focus, right? Like it's my focus, it's my heart behind this, it's understanding the weight of what I've got to say. Like what I've got to say is not easy. The story of my life, like what I know that God has placed in my heart for this book is beyond my comfort zone. So when y'all see this book come out, please understand that I did not want to do this book because I told the Lord, send me, I'll go. He was like, bet. Oh, y'all. Man, this specific song has been like wrecking in me. Not just stories. I feel like I mentioned it already. You know, I just played it again, and you know, there's one line that gets me, and it's so simple. I feel like I've heard it many times. Like, I feel like I've said it. Your word is crystal clear, no doubt about it. And you know, she moves on and says a bunch of other things or whatever. But the thing that hits me the most is that the song is really just a reminder of God's consistency and dependability. That looks like a human. It's literally like a leaf. But his consistency and availability and dependability and like all these things. And it's just like it gets, when you're in the mundane of things, you kind of forget that like God is a provider. Like, he provides in so many different ways, not just monetarily or not just people, but like in so many ways. You know, and I'm in this process of of writing this book, and y'all, it is so incredibly difficult. I feel like every time I go to write this book, I get distracted. Every single time I go to write this book, I just don't want to be honest with you. And I know I talked about that. It's later on in the day, same day, and I'm just like, I just like boo-hooed listening to that song, because like I said, thinking about those things that it kind of like sparks inside of me, like it doesn't matter if I don't feel like it. It's not for me. And also, of course, it's difficult. Of course, it's hard, because you are writing about a time in your life that really broke you and almost really took you out. And it's challenging to, one, go back. But it's also, you know, once the book comes out, you guys will understand why I'm using these words. But it's also very just like, there was so much shame attached to some of the things I'm speaking on. There was so much embarrassment at that time. I've been freed from it, but this is almost like the final like I don't know, like it's the final step in my healing, freedom, whatever journey we're calling this. But the burden is so heavy, and the weight of this is so heavy, but I'm trying to remind myself that this is really for someone else. Even if it's for 10 people, even if it's for one, this needs to get out. And so it's just, oh God, I hate to continue saying that, but this is so hard. And I'm sure you guys can relate to something you really have enjoyed. You know, you enjoy, you can imagine enjoying the end result, right, of delivering this baby to the world, but yet not enjoying the process to get there. And when I tell you, y'all, I will be boo-hooing every step of the way, probably up until this book is done. And when it is done and in your hands, and I see you guys reading it, y'all gonna have to check on me. Y'all gonna have to check on me, because I'm not gonna be okay in the best way. Oh Lord, but I trust you. Y'all are gonna be looking back at these vlogs and these moments, and I'm even gonna be looking back at these moments, and I would just tell myself, I'm so proud of you for finishing. I just, oh God, I'm not even gonna do that. Not yet. My actual Mac is updating right now, so it's doing its thing. I wanted to share that moment because, child, I was like not okay a few minutes ago. Your word is crystal clear, no doubt.